What's up, everybody? This is the Rabid Hedgehog, and this is going to be my ride and review of the 2018 Harley-Davidson Low Rider. Now, this, of course, is coming from the Dyna platform. Has a different look to it. Does not have the smaller tank like some of the others that were brought over. Actually still has the 5-gallon tank. See that LED heritage light on there. 19-inch front wheel. 16 on the rear, Michelin Scorchers instead of the Dunlops. 107 Milwaukee 8 engine. Seat change from last time because it used to have that back pad right there that was removable. Of course, you could change where the logo said or put that back in there so you can have a different seat height. This shock is adjustable under the seat by spanner wrench. Does not have the crank on that side. Traditional style fender, unlike most of the new Heritage, or no, most of the new Softail, excuse me. They have more of that bob fender look. Even maintains its original twin dial dash with a tachometer on the lower end and speedo and information on the top end. It now just has a decorative fuel cap here. It's not even a fuel gauge anymore. It's all digitally done in here. Has more of a traditional style buckhorn handlebar and a mid-mount control set. 6-speed transmission. Now, just like every other Harley-Davidson, very standard affair on it. You're going to have your kill switch. You're going to have your hazard, your start, and your right. Left turn signal. This is your trip information here. Horn, bright up, and then flash to pass on the bottom. Now, through here, you'll see that you have your clock. You have your odometer. 2 trip odometers, remaining fuel, and then up around here, you actually have your fuel. And then there'll be a gear indication that'll pop up. Kind of around here, you have your bright, battery, security, neutral, oil, engine, tire pressure monitoring, cruise control, and your turn signals down in there, which means that possibly tire pressure monitoring is coming in the future. We'll go ahead and give her a crank. And like I said, this is the 107 variant. The Lowrider does not have a 114 variant this year, so no Lowrider S. But like I said, it maintains the traditional big tank. Does not have the little tank. Let's go ahead and take her for a quick ride. Alright, kind of settling in. As you can see, I'm very tucked into this bike because it does sit a little low for me. A little bit too scrunched in. Handlebars are pulled back, like I said, kind of that buckhorn, so you don't get the flat wrist unless you kind of modify like I do. I grab at the end there. So a little bit tucked in, kind of weird feeling. Bike has good power though. Right now cruising around in 4th gear here. Transmission shifts real cleanly. None of that agricultural thunk anymore. Engine runs super smooth. As I've said before, the new Softail frame has the new twin counterbalanced Milwaukee 8 engine in it, so basically like the B motor of twin cam years and Evo years, you've got that as well. Very stable going down the highway, even though you look at the winds we have today. Despite not having a windshield or anything, I mean, this bike, I'm not being whipped around too much, mostly because of the position I'm in. Like I said, I'm tucked in here. So it kind of has my head down. I'm tucked in all together. And the way my arms are, I'm not being whipped around. Now this chassis, like the rest of the new Softails, is very flickable. You can see not much input on the bars needed for the bike to actually begin process of turning. And the upper gear, it is no power, so you have to be down if you're going to travel at highway speed and pass somebody. But if you just want to cruise, go ahead and get it on over to 6th gear, and that way you just have the fuel economy that comes with this bike. Well, I'll get a little bit more gathering of thoughts here. Compared to, say, the Lowrider S, which is the 110 variant, this 107 seems to pull right along with it. Of course, this bike has had a little bit of a diet, and I'll post the before and afters. That way you can see for yourself. But this one seems to pull just fine. It rides much smoother. Goes down into a turn very nicely, just like the old Lowrider S did. Of course, this is just the Lowrider, not the Lowrider S, but nonetheless, Lowrider platform, mid-mount control, buckhorn style low bars versus mini apes like the Street Bob. Get over here so I can feel that bump. Overall, very, I mean, despite being a little bit crowded on here, it's still comfortable. Here we go. Ooh, okay. Not bad. I actually got off a little on the seat this time, but this could be a preload issue. When I rode the Fat Bob, because it has the dial right there, I went ahead and turned up the preload for me. And the Street Bob, which I'll be posting here pretty soon, or at the same time as this video, I actually played with the wrench on that one, and that way I got it up to my position. This one I just grabbed. And so I got a little bit off the seat, so probably need a little bit of preload for my weight on this bike. But boy, she does ride good. Like I said, I think it's every bit as fast as the Slim or the Lowrider S. Every bit as fast. I'm testing that back brake, and it's better than the other two I've ridden so far. So far, the Fat Bob and the Street Bob, both of their brakes were barely existent on the rear. This one seems to have a little bit more brake bias to the back, so it does help, but still weaker than previous generation on the rear. Front does have good bite. Yeah, watch it there, buddy. Still probably had some room, but engine braking is also fantastic on this bike. That's what I'm doing right now, is just strictly engine braking. Go ahead and tap the brakes there. Front bite is still pretty good. Indeed, and that's from a single disc up front there. One thing I love about this Milwaukee 8 on so far everything that I've rode is just the smooth takeoff power. Every time you get going, it just smoothly goes into this wonderful torque band, and you just can get going. kind of filling out this. Now this does have a traditional fork on the front, but it's handling these bumps pretty decently. Like I said, I think I need just a preload adjustment and we'll be all right. Man, I like the way it feels. I mean, I know that the old Lowrider S and the Lowrider were almost completely different due to the way the seat was and some of the other things on it, but this one here, like I said, it's got more of a traditional style seat on it this time. It just feels amazing. Oof. Like I said, punches me right there because of that suspension not being correct, and also the traditional forks. So you got a lot more unsprung weight than you do on the Fat Bob. Still feels really good though. I mean, the seat is nice and comfortable. It's not like the original Lowrider S, because that thing's seat was horrifying. And the Lowrider, as long as the back pad was taken off of it, it fit me really well and the seat felt really good, but still not as good as this one. This one's nice and comfortable. It's one that you could take with you on a long range trip, that's for sure. The pothole there. I'm just so surprised at how smooth this motorcycle is, and it does transfer the vibes a little bit better than the Fat Bob did. The Fat Bob seems to be the smoothest of the rides so far, and I don't know if that's just the way the suspension is or how everything's mounted on it, because it is a beefier bike basically. Handlebars are different as well, but this is just wonderful. Wonderful bike indeed. Everything's very readable here. I still prefer everything up here, but when you look down, you can see the speed very easily. You have to look way down for the tachometer, so not the best of visibility on the console, but mirrors are in perfect places. I don't really see anything bothering me too much. I see a little bit of my shoulder out of each of them, a little bit of elbow as well. But other than that, I can still see perfectly around where I need to see. Bike just purrs along when it's at idle. Has a little bit of vibration, as you can see, kind of like the touring model. This one seems to just run a little bit different, more Harley-like than the others that I've rode so far. Overall impressive bike. Like I said, better rear brake than the other ones, and it just seems to be working out pretty dang good here. So at any rate, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and if you have any other questions about the brand new 2018 Harley-Davidson Softail Lowrider, leave those questions in the comments below and I'll be happy to get back with you. This has been a good first impression, definitely a bike I would recommend for anybody. Especially, I mean, you can be new, you can be old, you can be any rider, basically, as long as you can handle the weight, and it'll be a good bike for you. At any rate, keep that shiny side up. Have a good one, folks.